Today I'll be showing you how to get a successful orbit in Spaceflight Simulator. Now the first step is, turn on all the engines and lift off. So, in the next video I will be showing you how to build the satellite I was using. Now, not sure if you can quite see the text because the video is so choppy, but once you get to 2,000 meters high, 2,000 meters high, you turn about 10 degrees. You know how it says angle in the top left corner. Now after that, you have to wait till it says 10 kilometers up. That's about 100,000 meters in the air, I think. I don't use the metric system. We really should because it makes more sense. But so once you get up to 10 kilometers, you turn about 45 degrees. I'm doing a voiceover, so if I'm going a little fast. Now, I wait a little bit till I'm like 13 kilometers in the air till I turn, but sometimes it doesn't work, so do it once you get to 10 kilometers, not 13. Now, once you get the peak of your arc gets to about 50 kilometers, you have to start accelerating in order to make the orbit, or make the arc circular so that you get into orbit. Now, once it says 50, or 51, or 2, you stop the engines and start transferring the fuel. Now, you're going to do this because you will need about at least 80% fuel in the main engine, because, you're going to have to go for a while. Because sometimes if you mess up, you're going to have to correct it and make the circle smaller, or the orbit smaller. Now make sure you stay on course, because, if you don't stay on course, you'll mess up the orbit. Now, keep watching the fuel meter, because sometimes it messes me up when I realize that I've already finished fueling, but I keep going. So you're going to have to do a few short bursts to get the empty fuel containers to go past you, because you don't want those to hit you. That would be bad. So, once you get to the peak, this satellite is already in orbit. Now, eventually later, I will flip between them. So, I'm almost there at the peak, and there. Now, you just wait, and you should see eventually the arc starts getting a little bit bigger. Now, the numbers from 50 kilometers should start slowly counting down. That is good. If they start going up before it's sort of already made a circle, that's a problem, because then you'll get an uneven orbit and, it won't be in orbit. This takes a little bit. Your height will get smaller of how high you are, but eventually it'll start getting bigger and bigger. As you can see, it's already gotten pretty big, or wide. So, the next step is really just easy. You just have to fine-tune the circle. You'll either have to turn in the opposite direction and do a few bursts. As you can see, it's already sort of made a circle. And it says that I've reached low Earth orbit. That's how you know you've gotten a successful orbit and you won't get grabbed by the Earth's gravity. Now, at this point, I have to turn around and do a few bursts going the other direction because the circle was a little wide. Now the circle's nice and even-ish. And now you turn the rocket back on, turn the rocket back around, and then you can release the satellite. Just click the fairings, eject, and then eject the stage, do a few bursts to get away from the fuel container, and that's it. Now, for the next 5 minutes, I will be showing you, well, the safest re-entry. So this satellite has 2 docking ports where I've attached a docking module or a landing module. So this made it a little bit harder to get in orbit because that whole satellite is already big on its own, and adding a docking port made it really heavy. Now this is one of the other satellites I have in orbit, and once you get them in orbit, you can just leave them alone. You can switch to another rocket. You can even launch another launch another rocket, and try to rendezvous and land or dock with the other satellite. Sometimes you'll have to clear debris so that you don't accidentally switch to a piece of fairing. Once you get back to your normal thing, just tap on the docking port. Now, this is the part where you just need to get away from the satellite, and then just aim your trajectory towards Earth and turn on the engines and start heading back. Now you're going to have to watch your orbit because you have to watch until it intercepts with the Earth. Now I'm trying to land on top of this other satellite that I landed, but later in the video you'll see I slowed down too early and made it so I just went straight down. See right now, you can slow down right now, but if you're trying to land in a certain area, that'll screw you up. So just stay on the trajectory, because once you enter re-entry, you will automatically start slowing down. So, I already started burning fuel. That wasn't a good idea. Because now I won't end up landing on top of the other satellite. And that's when I realized that I messed up and tried to correct it and realized that I was going too slow and there was no way to get there. So above me is the satellite. It's just staying on course. That's what's good about orbits, because you can make you could even make the ISS, the International Space Station. If you get enough docking ports on one small satellite and then build rockets and dock on it, you could make it. But I can't even dock on a satellite that's already in orbit, because if I launch another rocket, I'm just really bad at that stuff. Because I tried landing on the moon once and created a quick save, and every time, no matter what I did, I would slam into the moon because I used way too much fuel. Now, I slowed down a few times, and that made it a lot easier. Here, one problem if you slow down too early is you won't have enough speed to be able to turn your rocket right side up. So don't slow down as fast as I did. That's a mistake. Don't, even though this is a video telling you what to do, don't slow down too early. Slow down once you get just about 10 kilometers from the Earth. Even if you're still going 1,000 miles a second, you'll automatically start slowing down. So you'll be fine. So now I had to move the little leg things so that I could actually deploy the parachute. That shouldn't be a problem if you don't have the little landing things, but I put those because I want to be able to take the rocket back up. Now, I used way too much fuel and it wouldn't be possible. Also didn't even have a big enough fuel tank to get out of Earth's atmosphere. So, if in the next video, if you actually want, next video I will be explaining exactly how I built it. If you want the video after that to be just a simple satellite that you can, fly back down to Earth, well then check out the last video, because that was a quick tutorial on how to make a small satellite and landing ship. The next one that I think I'll do after the big satellite tutorial is a reusable rocket that you can at least take off the ground twice. Probably not, that would be pretty hard, but so that'll be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and like the video for more. If you want a certain tutorial or want me to build something,